Alright, hello friends. So last time I spoke on the subject of figuring it out, and in this video I would like to give you some suggestions of few things that I highly recommend you figure out in this life. So without any further ado, let's begin. Now, the very first thing that you should figure out is yourself. I know this may sound a little bit new age meditational, guru type of talk, but that's not what I'm talking about. In fact, what I'm suggesting is quite scientific and systematic. And the way I recommend you approach this task is simply by developing a habit of scanning your own mind on a regular basis and then detecting what thoughts, feelings, emotions, habits, reactions you have to both internal and external stimulus, and then asking a question why you have one particular response or another. But above all, what you should be doing is seeking that answer, because in that answer lies the key to understanding yourself. If you do this regularly over a course of many years, you will get a very good understanding of how your brain functions, how you behave in various environments. You will understand the reasons for your behavior, and above all, you will gain that control that you need over your mind. And with that control, obviously, you will be much more successful in this life. So that's number one. That is the foundation on top of which everything else will be built. Now, the second most important thing to understand is your health. I have quite a few videos on this subject. I have a number of health talks that I've done, and from the comments under those videos, I clearly see that a lot of people know nothing about health, know nothing about how human body functions, and surprisingly, after living in it for many years, know nothing how their own body functions. So obviously this is where you need to start. This is not going to be like a big health talk, but I do wish to point you in the right direction. Number one, understand how a human body works in general. Then, having access to your own body, hopefully, begin to understand how your specific body functions, because some people have allergies on certain foods, some don't. Some people sleep a lot, some people don't need a lot of sleep at all. Some people build muscle fast, others, no matter what they do, they just can't get that muscle. So, as much as we are similar, we're also quite different. Understand that. Understand how your body works. Just start researching, start reading health books, start keeping records, diaries, whatever you need of how your body functions, how it responds to various external and internal stimuli. And then, above everything else, this is simply something that you must do to live a long and healthy life. And that is to understand how to heal yourself from both injuries and illnesses. This is something that I was simply forced to do. As a kid, I was not a healthy child. I had a lot of both chronic diseases that damaged my organs, especially my skin. I had very severe eczemas to a point of bleeding. I will not go into these subjects now. I will save them for the future. But I also had serious injuries where doctors said this will not recover without an operation. I had to surprise them and recovered myself fully and natural. The body has an incredible ability to regenerate itself. If you learn how to do so, if you figure it out, then you will have a tremendous advantage again in this life. We will all eventually encounter various injuries and illnesses. That's just part of life. Accept it. And then when the opportunity, each injury, each illness, each disease, as long as it doesn't kill you, it is an opportunity to learn how your body functions, and above all, how to regenerate that illness or injury. And finally, I will make a quick statement about the modern medicine. I used to rebel against it. From my language, you probably feel how I am very much for natural health. But as you live longer and longer, you encounter problems, health issues, for which you need modern medicine. So what I discovered is that rather than rebelling against it, I recommend using it intelligently. I love its diagnostic capabilities. I love its scientific research that I then can use to diagnose my problem and then make a decision where I want to make a serious effort at finding a natural solution of figuring it out, or I wish to take the modern medicine route and use whatever surgeries, drugs, chemicals, whatever they propose. And I'm here to tell you that yes, sometimes an operation is needed. Yes, sometimes even toxic medical drugs with side effects may be the only viable solution for you at a certain period of time. I don't recommend that you fall back on that option, as so many people do, immediately. If you have time, if you're not dying, if you're not in severe pain, then I urge you to try to figure out how to self-regenerate. But I have had operations. I have used drugs, medical drugs. Let's focus on medical drugs. By the way, full disclaimer, never smoked in my life, never. Nobody could peer pressure me to do it. I was big by that time and strong, and I was rebelling against all weaknesses, still do. And so nobody could pressure me to smoke, peer pressure. And myself, I wasn't interested. And drugs in general, same thing. Never used any drugs ever. And so that's just a quick disclaimer on a side note. But getting back to medical drugs, yes, I had to use them. Didn't like it, had side effects, regretted using them. There were points when I did need to use them. That's it. The pain levels that I was experiencing, the damage that was caused by toughing it out was too much. And so, just like a band-aid, I had to use it, and then as soon as I was stable, I had to jump back onto the natural path of self-regeneration. Look at this, it's turned out to be a health talk, which I was not planning to do. Moving on, I think I conveyed everything that you need to start your path of learning about health. Read books, watch videos, see where your mind takes you, see what you can figure out yourself, and then wait for new health talk videos from me. But moving on, the next very important aspect to figure out, it's funny to say it because it should be self-explanatory, but wealth, money specifically. You need to figure out money. You need to start making money, and you need to get your financial situation under control. But I wish to take it one step back and just bring your attention on figuring it out. Money needs to be figured out, in my experience. A lot of people kind of sleepwalk through life, just going from one job to another, and that's not really figuring out money. It's just simply working, which is very important. Huge respect for everybody who works. But there is the financial world. Money makes money. You can invest your money. You can learn about stocks, bonds, precious metals, art, antiques, and collectibles. There are many directions that you can take, at first maybe even as a hobby, but you need to start reading books about money, watching videos about money, and listening to people who have a lot of money. It's just simply something that must be part of everyone's, not just school education, not just higher university education, but basic self-education as early as possible. 100%. And this is something that a lot of people don't know. Surprisingly, they don't know that they should be reading about money. And one book that I will quickly recommend to everybody, it will not blow your mind in any way, but it's a very solid book to get you started. I liked it a lot because it's very simple, straightforward, kind of no-nonsense things about money. It's called Millionaire Next Door. Read it. It focuses mainly on blue-collar millionaires, but generally how you can slowly but effectively work your way up in various ways, how you don't blow all your money away, don't waste it, how you save it, and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna do a Reader's Digest for you. Maybe another time. But read that book. It will get you started. And there's a lot of good books on this subject. Next, as you start making, hopefully, a lot of money, you will begin to think about security. And here is another big subject that everybody should pay attention to. First of all, learn how to fight, man or woman. Woman, I don't recommend that you get into fights, but you should learn enough and furthermore understand how realistically it will help you just to buy that 30 seconds to scream extra long for help for somebody to come and help you. So learn to fight. Learn to shoot weapons, women especially. Learn about self-defense and personal security outside of your body, in your home, in your car, in your city. Then, first aid, absolutely necessary for every human being. Learn about basic first aid. And of course, survival. Preparedness and survival is very important. Having enough food, enough resources and supplies in your own home, in your vehicle, maybe at other locations. Having that knowledge that you should be able to abandon it at any moment, so you're not there playing castle. And having that flexibility so many times. A number of relatives that I had who were not into any preparedness or security, I kind of helped them to just have a stockpile of water and a little bit of food, maybe for a week, no more. And whenever some sort of a massive storm, fire, hurricane came through, suddenly, instead of complaining how much space it took, suddenly they slept better. Never needed it, but they slept better. They were like, I'm happy I have all these things that you gave me or forced me to get. So it is insurance. Get it. Don't live in fear. Don't become a pack rat and stockpile your entire house. But do focus on general preparedness for yourself and your family, and get some basic survival skills that you can go out in any other environment other than your comfortable home, and be there more or less comfortable. So that's that. And finally, I would like to point you in the direction of curiosity and knowledge. Don't be a sleepwalker. This is now just kind of a general statement. Oh, by the way, a little bit back to fighting. A lot of people ask me this, so I'll use this opportunity to answer. People say, what style should I focus on to get kind of mixed martial arts training or martial arts training? See, I gave it away. Mixed martial arts training. So whether you go directly for MMA or you break it down into grappling, wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, regular jiu-jitsu, whatever you wish grappling wise. And another part of it is stand-up. Whether it be kickboxing, just learn to throw good punches and kicks. Break it down into those two parts, try various schools, see what appeals to you. But you obviously need to be able to throw a good punch or two, a few kicks in various painful areas of a human body. And if somebody takes you down, or you wish to take somebody down to the ground, you will be able to have some basic understanding of what to do down there. However, one extra addition that I throw in is learn dirty fighting to the death. Along with, by the way, along with the legal ramifications and laws that go with it. And dirty fighting to the death could involve guns, baseball bats, knives, Krav Maga, Israeli kind of style, whatever else you can find, whatever school that teaches you a finger in the eye, a fist or a knee to the groin. Especially for women, this is very important knowledge that will keep you, hopefully keep you safe, or give you enough time, buy you enough time to get help in this ever more dangerous world. So that's that. Stand up, ground, dirty fighting. Learned about that, go for it. So, and now getting back, philosophy. Get curious, get adventurous, get on the path of curiosity and adventure, of just hunger to learn more. I see a lot of people, and in their eyes they're dead, they're sleepwalkers, they're no longer curious or interested, they're beaten down by life. Don't be one of those sleepwalkers. Get ambitious. Even if you never achieve your ambition, just get ambitious, because ambition will pull you forward. Get interested. This is an amazing planet with such different habitats and environments. Outside of that planet, we got the whole universe. Whether I personally will get there or not, don't know, but it just fascinates me. Get thirsty, hungry about life. And then, as I always say, get after it. Rock on. Go get it. And don't let anybody stop you. Figure it out, move forward, and achieve everything that you ever desire. Rock on.